We're here today to talk with Brooks Jenkins, middle school assistant principal, and we're talking a little bit about our student-led conferences that are coming up at the middle school. Brooks, what do you see the biggest change that parents and students will see with our student-led conferences?
This is going to be a big change, we think. The format has always been at the middle school has been where the parent comes in and can go and see any of the teachers that a student has, and we don't have anything scheduled ahead of time. So for this, it's going to be set up. We're going to have parents sign up on the Sign Up Genius format, and they'll have a 30-minute window where they can come in, and then, as the name would imply, we're going to have students come with, and the student will be the one that runs the conference. They will have a teacher that's at the conference, but the student is really going to be responsible for the covering all the material at the conference and going over their grades and their behavior, and then some career pieces that we have in place through career cruising.
So when I got that email home, I should have probably looked at that and filled it out.
Or your wife.
Okay. One or the other would be good. So if you've gotten that email, you want to take a look at that, and it did come from.
We sent one out last week for parents who have multiple students at Lansing Middle School, and then we sent another one out yesterday or today for the rest of our parents.
I saw them, so I'll fill that out if you haven't. What is the biggest positive that you see with that you anticipate with student-led conferences? This is our first time. So
right. What
is the biggest positive that you see?
Well, I think the biggest positive is going to be having the students play the main role in this. We see a real big impact for students being able to take responsibility for their own learning and to be able to advocate for themselves and to be able to speak about it, put together a slideshow that covers those things. We think that that's going to pay off in the long run for a student to be able to really analyze their learning and that behavior piece, and to be able to, again, then communicate it to their parent in what's hopefully a low stress environment with the parent there. But that's definitely what we see as the big positive.
You know, a big part of that is it is the student's learning. It's not the teacher's learning. It's not your learning. It's the student's learning. And we tried to get there for many years, and it sounds like this is a step for you guys to maybe get a little further along that line. So
we hope it will be. We hope so.
I guess one of my major comments would be, you know, what if I want or need to converse with an individual teacher, because they're going to when I did read the email when it came home, so they'll meet with their advisory teacher, but what if I need to see my student's math teacher? Is there a way for me to be able to do that?
There absolutely is, and that's one of the things that when we were preparing for student-led conferences, that's the one thing that's come up over and over again, is because it's going to be such a departure from what we've done in the past, that we're still going to have some parents who want to discuss, you know, this particular class with that particular teacher. So what we'd like is for parents to attend the student-led conference with their student and their advisory teacher, and when we get to the end of the conference, the parent will have an opportunity to be able to put down if they would like follow-up from any individual teachers. And then that will be passed on to those teachers, and our expectation is that the teacher will then get a hold of that parent within a 1 week time window, and then they can talk about whatever it is that the parent want to follow up on, and if they want to meet face-to-face, they can go ahead and schedule that.
Sure.
But we definitely want that to be available. We always encourage communication between home and school,
right.
And we're not trying to limit that in any fashion with the student-led conference.
I could definitely see where this would open the communication gates. Anytime that we have issues with school, I would encourage you to call the school or call, you know, that communication with the teacher is vitally important. This is just a different step, and we hope that we have those other communication lines already open, I guess would be the biggest thing.
We definitely hope so as well. I mean, we hope that if there's been an issue, that there has been the communication piece already in place somewhat, but this would just further it.
Well, very good. Well, thanks for your time today, and if we have any questions about student-led conferences, who should we contact?
You can contact me. We have an advisory committee that's been in place. I've done a lot with that, so we have a lot of teachers at the middle school who have put in a lot of time on this. But I would probably be the point of contact, first of all, but also your child's advisory teacher would be probably the best contact person, and that's who the email home about scheduling the student-led conference should have come from.
Very nice.
So that's where I would start.
Well, thank you and good luck.
All right.